Abendroth, Allen,
Here.
Bryant,
Here.
Crosby, DeFonce,
Here.
Brennan,
Here.
Fairchild,
Here.
Letta,
Here,
LePage,
excused absence.
Lamonto, excused.
Abendroth was here. She just didn't have her.
Yeah. I've got her on Zoom. Also, Linda Crosby, she was excused as well. Mandeville,
Excused absence,
he was excused. McDonald,
excused.
excused. Roland, and Valencourt.
Here. Still here.
Okay. Request to be excused were received from Linda Crosby, Gail LePage, Andrew Lamonto, Tom Mandeville, and Scott McDonald. Absent, not excused, Tim Rowland. And we have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, let's move to the consent agenda that we have for today. The consent agenda includes the approval of the excused absences, approval of today's agenda, approval of minutes of the February 28th, 2022 meeting, and committees for which there are no reports, advocacy, executive, health plan, negotiating, personnel, and property. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Also move, Mary Abendroth.
And a second?
Second.
That was by Lonnie. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Public comment period. Do we have anybody from the public with anything?
Nope.
Okay, communications. Brenda, do you have anything for the board?
I don't have anything, no.
Does anybody else have anything to share as a communication? All right, president's remark. Gayla is not here today. The only comment that she had for me is that she feels that the positions for the board, I'm not sure if this would be part of her president's remark or not, that we now have found members, I'm not saying this very well, all positions have been filled or are in process. And she did not give any other remarks to share. From our central library, Plattsburgh Public Library, Anna, what do you have for us today?
Did you all get my report for April?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Just quick note, they did get started again on the roof today. It's going to affect parking when there's a security or safety issue about on the north side of the building. So they will be asking CEF staff some days to move their cars out to the street. Otherwise, we are just getting our surveillance system put in and looking at the construction cycle for next year. That's about it. Thank you.
And you've had no run-ins with this First Amendment audit group?
No, I watched the video of them over at the county building in DMV, and that was a disaster. And then they were at the Watertown Library, and that was not a good thing either. So we are just, everyone is prepared to let them film and just ignore them. And there's a workshop tomorrow at 1 o'clock on Northern New York Library Network about First Amendment audits. And many of us plan to attend that to get a little more insight.
Do you know if that meeting will be recorded for later viewing?
I would imagine so. People tend to record things now.
I'll check with the director over.
Okay, because that, I think that would be interesting possibly for some of the trustees and for those that can't attend, but
Yeah.
just for awareness.
Okay.
Any other, any questions for Anna or any other comments that you'd like to share?
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Glad you were here today. The director's report.
I put most of it in the report, written report. I do want to touch on the open meetings law. I don't know if any of you were able to click that link and read that memo. But as I interpret it, the game is over after May's meeting.
Yeah.
By June, we'll be meeting in person again.
Oh, okay.
So enjoy this one and the next one, because it expires 60 days after the last expiration. So it's like June 10th or something. So by
You know
June,
where that will be? Will that be Plattsburgh?
we'll come back to Plattsburgh if the board wants to attempt remote meetings, or how do we say it? We have in the past.
Hmm,
I don't know if we're ready to do that
okay.
in the current atmosphere.
So for a couple of you who may be a little newer to the board, actually two things. We do have some designated remote sites where people can go to attend this meeting, not from your own personal Zoom, but there's one in, is it Saranac, Michael, or?
Saranac Lake, Malone.
Hmm.
And there was one more.
Fern Lake.
Schoon Lake?
Yes,
So.
If that
prior to-
equipment still works.
Yeah, so we'd have to check into this. So prior to the pandemic, there were some sites that were established where people could attend this meeting remotely because it was not from their own personal computer. And so if you have interest in that, you can certainly contact the office and we'll let you know where those are. In terms of the other meetings, what Steve was mentioning for remote, in past years prior to the pandemic, the board has often used the summer months as an occasion to visit some of the individual libraries, particularly in Essex and Franklin County, for July, August, because the weather was better in the daylight and travel was not so bad. To my understanding, there's nothing in our bylaws about that we have to do this. It's just been a practice as a way for members to see some of our different libraries. I don't know if anybody wants to discuss that now or think about it for the next meeting.
Sounds like a next meeting thing.
Why don't we think about it for the next meeting? And Brenda, I believe that we do have a list somewhere of which libraries we have visited in the past several years, you know, so that we can select ones that have not been recently visited. And not every library can accommodate our board meeting. So, you know, we have to select certain ones, but we'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting as a discussion topic. And that's really to help demonstrate and help the board realize that this is not just a Plattsburgh board. This is for all three counties. Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt with that, Steve.
That's all right. That was important. Just for your information, we have had 2 staff members test positive for COVID. Between that and the CDC putting Clinton County back in the high risk area, we are now asking staff to wear masks in the common areas of the building. Like I said, that's just for your information. One thing that I should have included in the written but didn't is we are trying a little experiment with North Hudson. They wanted some public access to the internet. And David and Anya got together a little plan, and we have installed out in their city offices a computer that will connect to the internet, and we're going to see how that goes. North Hudson used to be a stop on the bookmobile. So there is a little interest there. And we are doing this in response to a request by a citizen in North Hudson.
Is there a physical library there that you're doing it in, or is it just being done?
No, it's in the city building, the city offices, or town offices, rather. They haven't made North Hudson a city yet, have they?
I have no idea.
It has a population of less than 200. I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay.
What would be the financial implications of this?
Well, we
I mean,
have the
for us.
equipment available.
Mhm.
So it was not there was no cost to us. We did create a memorandum of understanding with the town that pretty much says if it gets busted, they're on the hook.
Okay,
But otherwise, we're providing the equipment, they're providing the internet link,
Oh, okay.
and
okay.
so that's where it is. We're watching carefully. Maybe it will be a pilot program to other underserved communities in the Clinton, Essex, Franklin area.
Great.
Okay, that's what I have for my report.
Any questions or comments on his written report or what he,
Oh, yeah, there was
Stated?
one other thing.
oh, okay, we've got
Let me
another
jump in
thing.
here for a minute. This is kind of a continuation of the discussion we had last meeting about our roof and having it replaced. Ann has shown us the light. We know we want to do it. We need to have an engineer come in and do the specs on it so that we can send those out to bid. It's going to cost us $2,500. But that is, it's an expense that has to be. If we get funded, it would be part of our matching funds for the project. Because if we intend to apply for one of the construction loans, Systems can do it at 50% matching funds, so we get 50% from the state, and we have to come up with the other 50%. Michael's already pooling money. But the first step is to get some estimates and things. And to do that, we need the engineer's report. So I just wanted to let you know that that is moving forward. And hopefully we'll have a new roof within a couple more winters.
If you, just for a point of reference, our roof, we put out to bid, and the low bid was $277,000. So, and then we're spending about $35,000 for AEDA, everything from the very beginning, coming up with the proposal to put it out to bid, running it in the paper, putting it, getting the bids, and then they're helping to manage the project. So we felt that was important. So that part we did not budget for in our application for the roofing funds. So that's on us. We paid the bulk of it last year, so that's fine. The roof, I had guesstimated $260,000, so we were close. But I just would suggest having a little extra cash in the bank just because it always costs more. And the supplies and things, of course, are going up too. So
Yeah.
just a couple points. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Ann.
your
Yeah.
expert advice.
You're welcome. And we'll put up with the parking when you guys do your.
Always a learning process.
But I did want to catch you up on that, so thank you, Michael, for reminding me.
So, do we have a timeline for how long it'll take to get an engineer study, put it out for bids and all of that? I mean, because of the way construction costs are fluctuating right now, that could make a difference,
Yes,
correct?
it will. And it's one of the hazards of going through this grant process. Generally speaking, the first bids that we get are hopelessly low because they're based on today's dollars and today's materials and all of that. And by the time we get to the project a year or two down the road, things have changed. We're trying to be aware of that and to build that into the cost of the project.
Thank you.
Right.
Any other comments or questions about the roof or anything else in the written report or anything else that you need to, that we need to remind you of? Okay, financial reports. Michael,
Included in your packet is the December preliminary of 2021 reports. Where we ended up the year pretty much on course under what we had our proposed budget. So, or no, we were a little bit right on 100% 0.21. 2022, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send two reports out. I'm gonna send the balance sheet and the revenue versus expenditures. And I will have the three of them done in the next 2 weeks.
We're gonna
And send out to you.
take a little bit of a shortcut to get caught up. So instead of doing all of the reports for all of the months, for January, February, and March, we're going to do the basic reports, so the profit and loss and the budget. And then we'll be caught up and we can start fresh with April.
do you see that having any impact on the information that will be provided to the board?
There'll be less of it. Okay, yeah, for the 3 months, it'll only be a 2 or 3 pages
Mhm.
report,
For each month.
yeah. So,
And if
You
there
have
is
all the
anything-
backup anyways, right? I mean,
right,
Right, the data's in the computer if somebody wants any additional information.
if we need to run a report for somebody, that's certainly within the realm of possibility. You know, it's the data's there. Organizing it into the reports is time intensive.
Okay,
And since where we really want to know is where are we now? We want to get caught up so that these 3 months, you'll get the basic information. It will show you where we are to date. It will show you our profit and loss, our balance sheet. And then hopefully you'll get all of April next month.
okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything they'd like about, to share about that proposal?
do we need a resolution to accept the finance?
Yep, I was just thinking that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yes. didn't know if you had any-
I just got haunted by, you know.
No, I appreciate that.
I'll move to accept the finance report.
Okay,
I'll sec-
all in do we have a second?
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, so the motion carries. Okay.
Just after the fact, can I just say one thing? Just out of curiosity, publicity and printing expenses were up 3,000%. And I'm sure there's a reason, but I don't see it. publicity and for 2020 was budgeted at $250 and it was $7,000 and it was up on 2021, it was 350 and it's 1,000. And I'm sure there's a reason, but I was just wondering.
Yep, that's what your job is, to ask the questions.
I will check and I will send a email to everyone explaining what that was in 2020 and what we did in 2021.
Yeah.
We should also mention, as someone pointed out in the finance committee meeting, that there is a typo on page 18. Under unemployment insurance reserve.
Yeah, under the audit.
In the audit page, right?
Yes. If somebody runs across that later.
Okay, so then, can I have another? So the type, is it a typo or is it significant?
Well, we haven't really gotten to that. That's the next item on the
Well,
agenda.
but we just approved the financial report. I'm just wondering, do we need to go back and approve? it?
No, that's
Oh,
not,
two different
that's not,
reports.
Oh, okay, that's why I didn't know what you were talking about. All right.
Okay. no, that's
Oh,
the,
I'm sorry, I jumped it. That's my bad.
No, that's
okay, Hope.
No, that's fine. Okay, the next agenda item is the, is the Finance Committee. Who's going to be reporting for that?
Oh.
That's
Open
me.
eye.
Okay,
So we just had a review of our audit previous to this meeting. And, bear with me, I'm new to the finance committee, I'm new to the audit, everything, but from my understanding, everything went as well as could be anticipated, expected. Like I said, there is one typo in the audit in case you're, reviewing things on page 18. Otherwise, there was one, I think most of you who've been here previously have seen these things before, like number 9 on page 17. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not what I wanted to mention. Bear with me. Oh, number 15 on page 19, departure from generally accepted accounting principles. Because of the cost, we are not able to give a figure for projected post-retirement benefits. So that was, which they said is not uncommon for an organization of our size. And yeah, otherwise, Michael, it went well.
Yes, it did went well. Another thing is, we did our original 990. We had them file it in November 15th, but the auditors did their reports after that. So there will be another 990 that will be filed with the IRS in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, other than that, it went well. Another thing is this is our last year of 3-year contract with Hoffman Else. So this year we are going to have to go out to or send it out to bid to have our audit done for 2021. Now that tax season is pretty much over, I will send a letter out asking for bids for 2021, and if they want, they can give us a 3-year projection dollar amount, because we usually do 1 or 3 years. And they said it went well. That. Anything else, Steve?
I
Oh,
have a question on the cover letter to the Finance Committee. Or one of the cover letters where there's the statement about inadequate segregation of duties over financial reporting. Can
Right.
somebody help us with that?
Because we are a small company, we have limited people to separate our tasks. We do have, the board reviewing, the work that we do, and that's a great added step. But they would like to see us separate the duties a little bit more, the reporting from the actual inputting of the information.
Mhm.
And I had asked them, we were talking about, we definitely need a part-time accounting clerk, and would that help? And they said, based on the task, they would have to review it, and that might help take that their
Address this.
concern out of the picture.
It has been an item with all of our audits.
Yes.
This isn't the first year it
Right.
shows up. And the explanation is simply that we don't have we have a
Staff.
finance department of Michael.
Right,
Brenda can do some things, I do some things, the board does some things. But we're very limited in how we can distribute tasks.
right.
So that's why it's on there. The auditor said it's quite common for small companies
Right,
to have that. So
okay. I
that's
just,
where we are.
right, I recall we've had it in the past. I just wanted to bring it up for discussion to show that the board's paying attention. So you don't have to minute that. Anything else from the finance, anything else from the finance committee?
I do not have anything else right now.
Okay,
we like-
Do a resolution.
What,
the resolution.
To accept the auditor report.
yes. I'd like to
Oh.
propose a resolution to accept the audit.
Okay, what is this typo on page 18? What,
On page
There's-
18. If you look down, the totals are the same and the figures are the same for 2020 and 2019, except for unemployment insurance reserve. And those figures should be the same as well.
2020 should be 10,000, not 20.
Right,
Or I think that's what he said. He was gonna correct it to 10,000.
Yeah.
Right.
And everyone will get a new page, 18, when I can get it.
so this change has been pointed out, you've requested a change from,
Right.
from them.
yes.
So do I have a proposal to accept this, and do we want to put, with the statement that a correct, a replacement for page 18 will be,
As corrected.
as corrected, will be corrected?
Yes. I propose we accept the audit with the change pending that will be added.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it still.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Or whatever. Opposed? Abstaining? Okay, the motion carries. All right, the next item is, and actually, maybe this is where I should have mentioned, instead of under president's report, the nominating committee, potential Franklin County trustee. The committee would like to present the resume of Jennifer Yando for the trustee seat. I remember this, that there was wasn't there a glitch in sending this out before of,
I think Gail tried to present it last month, but she didn't receive it in time.
right? So,
I would make the resolution to forward, I can't remember the name now, Yando, to the Franklin County Legislature to have her be appointed to CEFLS board.
okay, thank you, Nikki. Is there a second?
Second.
I'll second. Fine.
Okay, any discussion? I think I forgot to ask for that earlier for things. All in favor of forwarding this resume to the Franklin County Board of Legislators for appointment? Signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, so that motion carries. So this will be forwarded to the Franklin County. All right, any unfinished business?
Just on, I don't know if this is where it goes, Senior Planet coming to CEFLS, of which I'd be very happy to see that. Is there a status on that, or what happens with that, or is this the wrong place to ask?
All right, who's gonna field that one?
Do you want me to take that one, Steve?
Take it, David.
So there we have the vast majority of the technology sitting in the server room at the office. I've been working diligently, or at least I'll say I am, on getting all that set up. Currently, there are 5 libraries participating in CEF who will be putting on Senior Planet's programming at their libraries. They've already done the multi-week training sessions to get that. They will be using the technology that we have at the system in order to put those on. The first ones will be starting in May in Moores, with others that will be scheduled as they figure out which ones they're going with.
Nicely done, nicely done. Okay, thank you.
So was there a reason why there was a real hesitation when I asked who wanted to field this question?
That was me. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh,
That's all it was.
it's just that Dave knows the most
And-
about it.
And David knows as much about it as I do.
Okay,
He's on
I've
top.
put my hands on all of the toys that have been coming into the system. So.
no, okay, it's just sometimes when nobody jumps up to speak, you kind of wonder what's.
I was anticipating the next item on the
No.
agenda.
And also the libraries are gonna get a payment of at least $3,000 a piece, for their training and also for their programming,
Okay,
at least 3,000.
The 5 that have agreed to
yeah,
put on these.
okay. Any other unfinished business or anything from the past minutes or something that somebody has a question on? All right, new business. Oh, one of our favorites, lawn care quotes. Who's taking this?
We'll let Brenda take this one.
Oh. do I have my phone?
I feel like we should have drum rolls or something.
This is almost as much fun as the snow removal quote.
It
huh?
is.
All right,
Okay, so for the 3 quotes that I did receive, I did send out quite a few people I contacted just in an effort to get a variety of quotes from different people, but that didn't pan out very well. I only received 3 quotes, and as you can see from the summary sheet, it was from Small Jobs, Clean Cuts, and Plattsburgh Lawn and Snow. And with the final total, I did not include the addition of the new mulch because each one of the prices and the way they went about doing it wasn't across the board. It kind of fluctuated. So I just put their information as to if they needed to add new mulch and it was there and that would be an addition or not. But the bottom line is it looks like Plattsburgh Lawn and Snow came in as the cheapest price, just under the wire from the person that we had hired before in the past.
Small
Any
job.
information on reliability or? references or?
As far as contact and getting in contact with me and feedback, Plattsburgh Lawn and Snow, they were right on top of it. If I asked him for a quote, they sent it out. He called to schedule an appointment. He showed up here. Do you need any information? So he, out of the three, and Clean Cuts did a good job as well. It's just that they were priced higher. So I guess my recommendation would be Plattsburgh Lawn and Snow. I don't know if there's I don't know how any of you guys feel, if you wanted to just to stay with the person that you know, or I'm not sure, but that would be my recommendation.
Well, the other two look like they did not pro- provide any information about workman's comp, and Small Jobs did not provide information about liability insurance. Is that correct?
Plattsburgh Lawn and Snow, I think for the workers' comp, what they had at the time, they sent to me, but I guess it is,
All jobs usually waited till after,
yeah, after,
because there are expenses incurred for like having us as a certificate holder on their insurance. Usually it's a $25, $30 charge. And the Small Jobs, he is a one-person company, and, you know, he just doesn't do the expense until he gets, until he gets a job.
I'm just trying to figure out how we could have Small Jobs is $427 a month for a total of $25.60 for the season. And Lawn and Snow is $300 a month and $24.50 per season. Is this because of what they're providing and not providing as service? I mean, that's a difference of 120 a month, but only a difference of like,
Well, the things that are included, the new mulch, for example,
right, that's the
some
part.
of it is included in the quote, some of it's not.
right,
And does Plattsburgh, and again, I'm not criticizing, I know, because you send something out and you get all kinds of different responses back. Does Plattsburgh Lawn and Snow, are they doing a fall cleanup or removal of debris? And
yes, that's, all of that is included in the quote for the season and the
Oh,
monthly.
okay, so
Mhm.
everything was included in the quote.
Right.
It's just that the others broke it down a little more specifically.
Small Jobs did, they broke
Okay.
theirs down more specifically.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Sure.
We have been satisfied with Small Jobs. They've done it for a couple of years. We've had no problems with them. Just so that's on the table.
Right,
So it's $120 difference for the season between Small Jobs and Plattsburgh. I'm looking at. If we've been satisfied for that amount of money, should we change? Because I know before Small Jobs, whoever was doing it was doing a terrible job. A really terrible job.
Yeah, well, that's always the problem with
Right.
these small jobs, if, and, you know, I agree with Nikki, you know, does anybody personally know anything about, Clean Cuts or Plattsburgh Lawn and Snow? Because we don't have to go with the lowest bid if we have a
Right.
reason to feel like it's,
Mhm.
you know, not in our best interest.
Ryan Bracy owns Plattsburgh Lawn and Snow. John Andre
Correct.
owns Clean Cut.
Mhm.
And then it's Steve Dumasil that owns Small Jobs. One's from Champlain, Small Jobs is from Champlain. There's Clean Cuts in Plattsburgh, both in Plattsburgh.
I think so. Clean Cuts is Peru.
I think Plattsburgh's in Plattsburgh, if I remember right.
Mhm.
Well,
So,
I guess I'll ask Vicky's question again about small jobs. You know, have we been happy with them, or they're okay, or what? And I'm not taking away at all from you.
Oh,
Brenda,
no.
but, you're-
No, it's completely, like you said, it's the
Right.
difference between a little bit of saving a little bit of money and going with somebody that you already know and that,
We have not had the best, as Nikki,
right.
you know, sometimes when there's small jobs, it's, you don't have as much clout to get things done
Right.
sometimes. Well, let's have some discussion about this.
Who does the snow removal? Is that a
Oh.
different group completely?
yeah,
Okay,
DM, water specialty.
okay, that's fine. Because I know that's a problem too. Well, I will make a resolution to accept the bid of small jobs.
But if they haven't been doing, if small jobs, the one that has been doing it,
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and if they haven't been doing a great job,
No, they have been.
They
They
have been, it
Oh,
was
I thought-
previous to that.
It was before small jobs.
oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
But that was a really bad, I don't even remember their name now, but anyways.
okay.
The same ones my husband heard.
Cause that was the time that I was gonna get my lawnmower and bring it down and do it, if I remember right.
Yes, I remember.
Well, we have a resolution. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Hope. Okay, any more discussion about this? Okay, all in favor of accepting the bid from Small Jobs, signify by saying aye or raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, so we will contact them. Hopefully they still want us. Well, sometimes, that's another thing too with these small companies, sometimes that, you know, they need the work at the time, but if then they fill up. Okay,
Should we do a contingency saying if small jobs doesn't accept, then we can go with one, or do you feel?
Let's assume that they're.
Okay. No, I just wanted to.
we can do it by email if something came up that.
Okay.
Yeah, and if not, Mike can bring his lawnmower out.
Get a goat.
We, I think we have more problems with our $3,000 or, you know, whatever, you know, maintenance of lawn and snow than we do with our
Mhm.
hundreds of thousands of books and computers. Okay, that's the end of our formal agenda at this time. Are there any other comments or questions for the group?
So next month in Plattsburgh, or next month we could still Zoom and it's June in Plattsburgh.
Next month, we can still Zoom.
But we're
And
welcome. There's no limit to size in Plattsburgh.
No,
So I'm gonna
And-
eat more peeps. I'm gonna get bigger. That's all. Just-
And let's do, please, everybody, think about, you know, we're not gonna have any control over the restriction, you know, if, of open meeting law, but please give some thought about, how you feel about possibly visiting other libraries during the summer, you know, during the summer months. So we can have that discussion and make a decision next month.
And assuming we're wearing masks in Plattsburgh as of right now.
as of this time, we'll let you know what the current status is.
Right.
And if anything changes with that status of the open meeting, you know, we'll
Yep.
have that discussion next month also, or whenever.
Yep.
Okay, any other comments, questions from any of the board members or staff members? then if there's no further business to coming before the board, I will adjourn the meeting.
Thank you all.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank